So I want to talk a little bit about the most popular questions that have come into the office in the past few days. Will you do all you can to ensure there is never a disinformation governance board or anything akin to one? And the answer is yes, I will. And I think when you look at this administration and their secretaries like Blinken and Mayorkas and others, you got to look at these individuals like they are the disinformation distribution board, because that is what they've been out there doing. I'm not going to speak for all of my friends, but I know a hell of a lot of my friends did not fight for this country so that Mark Zuckerberg could be the arbiter of what is truth or what is not, or Joe Biden or anybody else in his administration could go out there and decide what you get to say or don't say. Those aren't the reasons that we went out there and fought for this country. So yes, I will do everything possible to make sure that this latest ploy by the administration, their disinformation governance board, is something that does not come to fruition. One of the amendments that I had passed today on the Committee of Transportation and Infrastructure was specifically related to FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency. This amendment basically created a requirement that FEMA lay out the criteria for harmful, toxic algal blooms like what we see in our community, for FEMA to be able to go out and assist with what happens with that, mitigate that, do what FEMA does as it relates to disasters around the country in a host of different ways. Our committee passed that. We will look forward to that moving to the floor of the House of Representatives. Before the Florida courts went out there and said, listen, no more mask requirements on aircraft or in transit, I was working a piece of legislation that I wrote to say, the exact same thing. No more masks in travel unless it is that you want one. Everybody is free to do that if they want to. They should be free to not do that if they don't want to. So then the courts made that decision. It kind of created the need to push my legislation aside because the courts were taking care of that. But now what is the Biden administration doing? They are appealing what the courts went out there and said, and trying to make it so that now if you go in transit again, you're going to have to go back to putting on a mask. They're trying to undo what the courts did. So now there is a need again for that piece of legislation. So the way that the leadership on our side is pushing that legislation that I came up with is through something known as a discharge petition. And what that is, it's a petition. You get enough signatures on that petition, and what it does in Congress is it overrides the Speaker of the House, Speaker Nancy Pelosi. You get 218 signatures on that. And it says, Speaker Pelosi, doesn't matter that you don't want to bring this to the floor for a vote. It's going to come to the floor for a vote anyways. And that is the way that that particular piece of legislation is being pushed right now. The organization White Coat Waste that I do a lot of work with, they said, Congressman, because of the legislation that we've worked on together and passed through your office, that we've actually gotten rid of 80% of the animal testing going on within the Department of Veterans Affairs. That's just one agency that we've worked on getting rid of animal testing. So there's a lot of holes in what they do with animal testing. I'm going to continue to work to bring that to an end, as we've had a great deal of success with. What specifically should be done in addition to what the U.S. is already doing to help Ukraine? One of the things that can help Ukraine is us being very, very clear instead of very, very opaque about what the United States of America considers a red line for what goes on within the borders of Ukraine. That would be something that would be very helpful to Ukraine. That kind of certainty to let them know, hey, it's not going to be tolerated that they're doing this, or this. But the administration is absolutely unwilling to go out there and do that. Do you see the wall being built if Republicans take over the House? I'm sorry to say, no, I don't. I would be lying to you if I said that the Biden administration is about to go out there, even if we pass something through the House and through the Senate, he would veto that law requiring them to finish the southern border wall. That would be, if I was in Vegas making a bet right now, I would put a bet on Biden vetoing that. So in that, again, honor to represent you. And I will look forward to seeing you all around town this weekend. And in that, you all take care. Hey everyone, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, please click like and subscribe. I will be back on YouTube with more exclusive content, so stay tuned.